Oh, he died. Oh, poor Bean. Hello! Hi. Hi, everyone. Guten Tag. I am Slappy Meats. This is my channel. It's my place. Welcome to it. I had to bake a cake if I knew you were coming. Goodness. Don't worry, we've got plenty of cake to go around. Speaking of which, I am joined here by my friends for some Drums of the Empire D&D. I have, to my immediate screen right, I have Lolo Man.
Hello, Lolo, I'm Lolo. I play one who leans. I am the clerical druidic negotiator. And I'm a mushroom.
Mushroom. He's very good at badgering people about the issues.
Indeed.
I almost forgot to mention, speaking of snake, we weren't, but it was going there. I am Saeldov, the Dhampir Rogue. Perfectly wonderful gentleman. You can simply call me Dove, for short. Continuing onward, we have Selnica with us.
Hello, I'm playing Felime, the half-elf paladin who is sworn to protect the roads and also has more than a little effect from contacts with the Fae. The most chaotic of paladins.
Mm-hmm. We got with us as well, Moonlight Kitsune.
Greetings all. I am playing Yozora, the Warlock.
We got our precious bunny boy, Bunny Bee.
I am Wither, your Drake Warden Tabaxi Ranger.
And last and most ominous, we have the Moogle with the mind. The mastermind behind all of these doors. We have Ironmog, our lovely DM.
Hello! Hail travelers, welcome back.
Hi.
Oh.
Okay. Make sure everything's going okay. Discord audio's there?
Well,
Good.
let's head on over. Where we last left our hero. To get in a little bit of a lore dump and hearing some more about this world they've arrived on. Putting in some preliminary, I suppose, feelers. Just kind of feeling out, reaching out, seeing what's going on with everybody, seeing what the political landscape is like, what the geographic landscape is like. A little bit of feeling it out. Just getting a vibe check for everybody and everything. Then we had some noodles,
I gotta find
had a
numbers
nice little
again.
discussion with the
I
party.
need to raise up.
And then
Sales and
as day kind of started
Just a little
to
bit.
wear on and we started to get further on in the afternoon
Wow.
towards evening,
Keith Silverstein.
the party started to kind of go off in different directions. One who leans is where we'll be starting with tonight, who was looking, I believe, to see a ritual site or some local site similar to like a druid circle kind of thing, right?
Yes. I was hoping to go to that ritual site in order to make contact with the local natural protectors.
Absolutely. I dig it. And yeah, so that's where we'll be starting. And then I believe Dove and Wither, we're going to head back to the door that brought you all here to see if you could find your wayward delegation, see if they finally made some more progress, if they're ready to catch up to you, and start discussing some things with them. And basically just kind of get the whole group back together, start putting the band back together.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe, Philomene, you wanted to go check on Boan, correct?
I believe I was gonna sleep with Bon unless we were leaving right away, in which case we were accompanying one who leans, I believe. Me and Yozora?
Were you? Okay, that's part of what I wanted to double check.
Yeah,
Just
if my
in case.
memories, at least for my motivation for this, if my memory serves, and correct me if I'm wrong, one New Leans had offered to teach Yozora some Druidic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And
And I
it's
don't.
like, teaching. You're someone's willing to teach, mystical, for lack of a term, ancient language. I'm following.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And I was gonna accompany
Of course.
Bullet's bodyguard, and just because always good to make more friends.
All right. I was double checking. I was fairly certain we had 2 groups, but I wasn't 100% certain if we had split up into 3 or not. So we'll have the 2 groups. Yozora and Philomene will be able to accompany One Who Leans when they head off on their adventure, and Dove and Wither will head off on their task. And we'll catch up to them in a little bit. In fact, everybody wave bye to them.
Yeah, it would be 3 groups, but offer to learn ancient language. Yozora's following.
Bye.
And at the moment, Bolon and your prisoners are still being held nearby in kind of a like a barn stable kind of situation. They went looking for somewhere to keep tabs on them and to let Bolon kind of rest up and stretch their legs. Just have a good time. Just be a cow. Sometimes you just got to be a cow, man.
Indeed.
Man.
Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. If that means being a good cow and eating whatever is in front of you.
Right? Sometimes it just do be that way.
Yeah, and it's weird because when you're a cowboy, you're in charge of livestock, but when you're a cowman, you're in charge of labyrinths.
Ah!
Or if you're a cow boy,
But what if you're a cowgirl or a cowwoman?
then you are in charge of milk.
We might be milking the concept a little.
Ah,
I was waiting
that's
for that
gonna be
one.
where we call it. That's it. We're done. Pack it up.
That was
Okay.
utterly atrocious.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
well,
was magnificent. Yeah.
okay, no, I have to ask because why do you have to create problems? What's your beef here?
Okay, we got the DM to groan. I think we need to move on.
Success. We have achieved it. All right, so we'll be, like I said, starting off. One Who Leans, you have, I believe, made your way back to this municipal building, and you can see that the elder is there, kind of still just cleaning up, kind of going over some notes, just like he looks like he's just, just doing his normal clerical work for the day. Philomene and Yozora, I think we're finishing up your noodles before you followed along and joined up. So yeah, we'll pick up there. Unless anybody needs anything, and oh yeah, Philomene, your sheet should be updated, should be looking correct.
Yep, I verified that. Everything is fine.
Cool, awesome. All right, let's get to it.
Elder Tor.
You will look up as you approach. Ah, welcome back. One Who Leans. How may I help you?
This one would, as discussed, visit the ritual site.
Of course, of course. Would you like me to accompany you, or did you just want me to tell you where it is?
Whichever is most convenient for you.
Either or would be most convenient, quite honestly. I am, I think, for the most part, done with what I was doing. So if you give me just a moment to clean this up real quick, I will come with you. After all, I do like showing off our wonderful little village here. And after all, this ritual site was, at one time a druid circle of sorts, but has sort of evolved past that. You will see. You will see. You will start going about cleaning up.
This one looks forward to it. And we'll appreciate the company.
Indeed. I look forward to spending more time with you in particular. We do not get any kind of gestures at you vaguely. Many of your lot around here. In fact, I don't know that we've ever seen one. But it's not out of the question, I suppose, to
This.
see something like you. After all, why not? The world is a strange, wild, and diverse place, isn't it?
Yes.
Just all that. We don't get a lot of that.
He will finish what he's doing, kind of set his notes aside, clean everything up, shut one of the leather journals with his notes inside, nod to himself, and then he will grab a walking stick and come join you.
Speaking of him cleaning up his stuff, on the way out of the village, I would have liked to have picked up that map.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, yeah. By all means, if you want a copy of the map of Yome, absolutely, you may have one.
Sexy.
Well then, with me, it's a little bit ways north of here.
Cheese curls.
One of your companions be joining us.
Yes, this one believes Yazora and Philomene would accompany us.
Ah, excellent, excellent. He'll push his way out through the door, see Uzora, give him a little bit of a bow of the head.
Zora returns the head bow.
And where's your little friend?
And don't forget the Dargon.
Out of character, I honestly thought I had already selected that. Sorry.
By all means. Ah, there it is. I just didn't see it. Ah, my old eyes. You must understand, of course.
He
Ah,
emerges
there's
from
Philomene.
beneath emerges from beneath an upturned bowl of noodles.
I must say, those noodles are absolutely wonderful. I really needed that meal.
Mio is quite gifted. It's true. He and his staff, they keep us and our spirits high. But please, all of you, follow me. It's just down the path here and then north, a little bit outside of town. Shouldn't take very long. 10 minutes, maybe. And he will wander along the path, eventually stopping and pointing north and continuing that way.
Let's go.
This large reinforced building here, and he points to this one. That's where you'll find Gethos, should you have need of him. Though be careful when you duck in. Sometimes his experimentation can get quite explosive.
Alrighty.
Really?
Understood.
So the cute bookworm's a mad scientist. Okay.
I thought that was the forge, so it's like, okay, duck. Otherwise, I'm gonna get a spear through the head.
You never know.
Oh, there we
He will,
go.
he will lead you along a dirt path for a while until you get to about here, and will gesture
Oh.
ahead.
Right at home.
Here, as you can see, is the place where we have begun to inter our fallen and our deceased. Though it is, as you can see, in a
Yes.
circular shape
He's so
around
excited.
a central point. It kind of gestures to this area ahead. And you see, moving around, a single individual.
Oh, that's so cute. One who leans is so excited.
Food.
Hmm.
Oh.
Hi.
Interesting.
Hello, Argonian.
And of course, our local spiritual leader, I suppose you might say. He tends the grounds here, sees to the
Outlander.
rights of the fallen and the deceased, and he tends
Well,
the shrine in town as well.
Argonians are Outlanders too. What am I talking about? It's Morrowind.
He's a fairly friendly individual. I believe you might get along quite well. He will take a few steps ahead and will wave. And the Dragonborn will finish what they're doing and head towards you all.
Oh, it's a dragonborn with a tail.
This one greets you.
With a very low bow, the Dragonborn will address you all and give you a humble greeting. And welcome all of you. My name is Karothiak. How might I be of service to any of you? And Elder Tor will kind of gesture at one who leans. This one here wished to know more about the... He kind of gestures all around. What we've come to call the Fallen Circle. Ah, of course. Please,
Yes?
step forward by all means.
Hello. Hi. What's up?
And he moves kind of to the edge of it and gestures to the circle around them. The story goes that once long ago, this was a druid circle. Though what circle it was specifically, no one knows. It was certainly not dreams, stars, or any of those. But it was left unattended for many years. When the village of Bannock II was settled, they first began to inter their dead here, as it was a area that felt peaceful. It seemed to offer some solace to those who have lost someone, as if there is a comfort here, something watching over the area.
No.
This one is on a mission far from home, but it hails from a druidic circle itself, the circle of the final rest.
I've not heard of that one before.
It would very much like to know more about the past of this place.
I don't know much about the past specifically, other than, well, what I've been able to piece together and what's made sense. It does have that sense if you just reach out and feel the energy. You will feel that sense of druidic energy. Life and natural energies just suffuse the area. And they seem to be of a positive nature. None of them hold any malice or maliciousness in them.
Perhaps this one could help you discover more.
Well, that'd be quite welcome. What did you have in mind?
Let this one have a look. And I kind of want to browse around the area, but focusing mostly on the vegetation and any kind of natural looking patterns in which druidic messages could have been hidden.
Okay. Anywhere specific you want to look?
Well, usually the most dense the vegetation, the better, so I'm gonna start with around here.
Okay. Where like the forests start to push in, absolutely, by all means.
Mm-hmm.
As the wood begins to push in.
And you've got some options. You can do just straight perception, you could do arcana, you could do nature, and you could do religion. Any one of those four could afford you new information.
I
Go with
believe
this? You
the
could go with
best
this.
score is gonna be perception.
And Karothiak will join you.
I do have a quick question.
What's up?
Divine Sense, as per description, says that you can detect good and evil. Until the end of your next turn, you can sense anything affected by a Hallow spell and know the location of any celestial being undead within 60 feet. Does that mean I could use that to detect any particular point in the area that's particularly blessed
Pretty
or
much.
cursed?
Hello.
Yeah, you could kind of like use that sense to get a feel for if there's any spot that is like more suffused with positive energy or negative energy, either direction, really.
That's
And
what I was wondering, yeah.
yeah, and then kind of like pinpoint that absolutely.
All right, then while one who leans and um, oh come on, what's his name?
Krothiak.
Korothiak.
Yeah,
Yay.
Kurtiak. While you do
Really?
that, I'm just gonna activate that and have a good look around the scan of the area, see where it seems the strongest.
Okay.
Our homeboy Jack Korothiak.
So I was going to hopefully do an Arcana check just to get a feel of the magic in the area.
You could also do that if you'd like.
I can check make work arcade. I do for the divine.
Okay.
I think I've got a pretty good feel of the magic in the area.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting good results here.
All right.
There's an
So we'll start with the perception check up here for the one who leans as you kind of get a feel for
Arcane
the
magic, that is.
trees and the natural folds in the area.
Can't
And as you look
post
around,
results with the roll.
there's definitely what looks to be might have been a border of a circle at one point or another. If you can see that.
Okay, actually, a little bit.
And its central point would be about here-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do this by hand? You see the implied circle.
So with your 11, you don't get a whole lot more, but you definitely see where not only is there a very obvious circle of growth that is now like a bunch of trees and some
I
bushes,
mean, it is.
you also sense right about where the center would be. And you get that the circle's kind of pointing inward a little bit. As if it were focusing its energy in the center.
Well, here or
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yuzora.
Yes.
Would you like to join this one for a moment?
Give me just a moment and I'll be over there. I'm feeling the air, the magic in the air right now.
All right, and that divine sense from Philomene, you get a overwhelming sense of positive energy in the area. Absolutely, there's no negativity, no malice, no corruption in here. This feels just like a good, kind of like restful place. Like you feel almost at ease here, where it's just, you know, you've come to a place, you've had a hard journey. Go ahead and just rest now. And you definitely get a sense of that energy kind of focused, again, in this open space ahead of you. As far as being a paladin of the ancients and a watcher of the ways and sensing ancient or celestial beings, outsiders essentially from this plane and this place in one way or another, you also get a soft-ish sense of extraplanar energy, as if it were moving directly through that spot in some manner.
The very spot at the center?
Yeah.
All right. Does the outsider energy feels positive or negative? I assume positive, but I figured I'd at least try and get a vague sense of it.
It feels negative, actually, but not like you would expect from actual corruption.
Hair fangs.
Negative in a natural way, so negative but not evil, maybe?
Basically, yeah. You're not getting like a sense of like good or evil really from it, but just definitely negative energies.
Right, so normal for a cemetery where there's a lot of dead and passed into into the next life, but not evil. That's good.
Yozora, when you kind of reach out and feel the natural magics and the flow of energy in the area, you take note of a few things. First of all, you can feel where a few ley lines of this magical ethereal energy definitely intersect, and they intersect up ahead, about the same place that it looks like Philome's kind of taking a look at right now. You can sense as well a more powerful source of magic, not a ley line that you are familiar with, something maybe more raw, more primal, more potentially powerful, that also intersects with these natural ley lines of the world that all seem to cross through here. And it's all about the same spot, that same central area. The ley lines that you can tell that are definitely for like this world, just the way its energies flow. You get, just general sense of life energies and other magical sense from them. But the larger, more powerful sense of energy you get is one of the 12 archon elements. That's the archon elements, or the elements that essentially make up life and magic and all that. Just the 12 different aspects of magic, etc. And this is an archon element that's more necrotic, more entropy and decay. And again, it doesn't feel evil by any means. After all, decay and death and all that is part of the natural cycle of creation. So it would be part of magic as well. But it is a very powerful, overwhelming sense of that type of magic.
Righty, okay. So a bunch of ley lines, make sure I've got this written down. A bunch of ley lines native, and then one that is one of the 12 archon elements, more necrotic, not evil.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody paying attention will actually see Yozora stumble a little bit, because that is a very powerful weave of magic right there. Oh.
And Philomene, meanwhile, is literally crouching in the area, inspecting as much as she can, while seemingly in river contemplation.
Tasting dirt.
Tasting dirt, yeah, just like taking a little pinch of it.
Right, I show this area the utmost respect. That is a lot of power. And then, after doing that and taking a moment to recompose themselves, because again, not every day you can immediately sit and sense one of the 12 arcana magics, going to carefully make their way over to one who leans.
Yeah, that is actually very true. It's not every day you feel one of the 12 primal elements of creation, especially in so powerful concentration.
Yeah, definitely going to be careful about this area and pay it the utmost respect it deserves. Don't mess with that.
Yozora, Karothiak. Allow this one to demonstrate what it is looking
God
for.
damn it. He's so bulky.
I'm gonna
Chad.
step up to the trunk of one of the trees, and through Druidcraft, ever so slightly adjust the pattern of scales of the bark. And it looks like it's almost imperceptible, but it forms Druidic letters. And in Druidic, I'm gonna write, "From the circle of the final rest, the one who leans visits in peace."
You'll see Karothiak kind of nod respectfully at that, inclining his head and like almost giving a little bit of gesture with his hands of almost like a prayer kind of thing.
Yozora is very much just studying. Not trying, again, it's not trying to steal, but it's like, I want to learn, so see what this does.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to point it out as much as I can. Could draw my fingers across the shapes. This letter is on, etc., etc.
I may not be able to use Druidcraft, but maybe knowing this stuff might help in the future.
As one who leans starts his little lessons, I will crouch down on my knees, lay down my Smith's brand on the ground, lay my shield on top of it, and then my own holy symbol on top of the shield, and just start praying / meditating to the entire area to both bless and commune with it.
All right. A few things happen. One, Helene's and Yozora and Karothiak, as you were watching this druid crafting lesson going on in the teachings of Druidic, the bark itself begins to shape without your attempts to shape it. And it forms a reply. And it says, "You are welcome, child of Trelune."
Oh,
I'm going to hazard a guess that you did not write that.
yeah. I read it out loud to my companions here. This is. We are welcome.
I have never heard of a place of like this, Trelune. What is that?
Trelune is the
Titty.
place this one hails from.
Our entire party comes from a very far-off land. Several far-off lands, depending on which one of us you talk to.
Karothiak's eye ridges will both rise surprisingly. That is something that I had not expected. Have you perhaps tried to commune with the natural energies in the area instead of simply writing? In fact, I think somewhere over here, and he turns and begins to gesture and sees Philomene doing the things you were doing, your supplication, basically, and kind of offering up prayers and whatnot. And you notice Karothiak pauses and like gasps. This area here, slowly, seems as if it is rising up out of the ground. There is a low rumbling.
Do you know what's going on? Before I jump to conclusions.
How
I do not.
curious.
I have not seen this before. What have you done? What are you doing? And he looks at Philomene, like curiously, not like accusing you of anything, just genuinely curious. Like, how have you done this?
I do not know. I merely thought it appropriate to offer prayer to such a holy site. I could feel the positive energy and the negative energy flowing in this spot. I thought it would be a good place to pray.
I did sense some powerful magic here in the land. Ley lines just intersecting here. And a type of power I'm not exactly familiar with. It did not feel evil, just natural.
You strangers are certainly strange. I cannot deny that. I do not get a sense of any hostility or malice from any of you. But this is unprecedented. There is a rumble as the ground begins to swell even more, and finally will split, and from it rises what looks at first to be a simple, small mushroom that quickly grows into one much, much, much larger.
Philomene will gather things and take a step back. Just a caution.
Uncle, what are you doing there?
Wait, was that
Eventually,
in character or after the above
that was above table.
Okay, then Yozora's
Damn.
just because they saw an appearance, like his hands are sparkling with magic for just a moment till it realizes it's a mushroom. It's like, okay. Looks at
There's
one who
a-
leans.
collection of mushroom and fungi that is about the size of a small cabin that now appears here in the center. And it glows with this kind of ethereal energy from within itself. Karothiak gasps. Elder Tor stares in open amazement. And with a spray of what seems to be like soft golden spores that slowly descend around it, the creature kind of draws itself up to its height. Greetings, children from beyond Yomei. Welcome.
This one greets you.
Philomene will catch herself just enough to bow down whilst trying to get her back into control of her own enterprise.
Fair.
She did not expect this to happen.
Greetings. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Indeed. A pleasure to meet you all as well. I sense from each of you no malice, no danger lurking behind your mind. You are welcomed here. I am what is known as the Great Mound, and I come to you from a place beyond this world to entreat you and to welcome you in place of those who might otherwise guard this area.
This one is honored.
As are we to meet you, one who leans of Triloon. It has been some time since our progeny has had a chance to meet with us, and it always does us good to see the proliferation carry on. One who leans. You may do a history or religion check with advantage if you would like to see if you have heard of this creature before.
Definitely. Let's do religion at advantage.
Let's do it!
I don't suppose I can offer. Wait, no, that's too late now. Never mind. Like any help from my end.
Well, with a 12, you have heard the name the Great Mound before. You've heard it in conjunction with another entity known as the Tree of Life. They are the two sides of the coin, life and death. While the Tree of Life helps, propagate and proliferate life and spread it throughout all of creation, the Great Mound accepts all the decay and all the death and helps to churn it and to nurture it and to turn it around into something that the tree can use. Basically, the cycle. It takes the death, turns it into nutrients, the tree grows, sends life back out into creation.
That's pretty much exactly what I'm all about.
Oh, we just ended up with a god right in front of us.
Oh, yeah. By the way.
Yeah. Very much respect.
Very respect here, too. I'm more aligned with the Tree of Life, I assume, but, always respect the gods.
I don't suppose there's any way I would know anything about this myself. I know this was a one who leans role, but given my background and whatnot, any chance I can...
We'll get to that. We'll get to that, absolutely.
Just wanted to check.
But one who leans, being his their specific nature and their specific background, had a fairly good chance at knowing something about this. But absolutely, Yozora, being whomst you are and where you are from, you may also make a history check to see if you have heard or know anything about this. Philomene, you could also make a history check.
Biscuit-eating Pearl.
That's a bummer. Philomene,
Okay. Guess I never
you may
crossed. I
also-
never read my botanic.
yeah, it looks like you just didn't read up upon it for whatever reason. But yeah, Philomene, you may also roll a history check to see if you've come across any stories of the Great Mound in all your travels. It seems neither one of you Either haven't come across any, heard any, or maybe weren't paying super attention when you did. But you definitely haven't heard anybody say that it doesn't exist. So you're definitely open up to the possibility and the idea. After all, it is standing shrug right in front of you.
Right, I'm a paladin. I don't need to know the deity to recognize the deity.
I'm more just swearing at that dice right now, but because this is my thing. Anyways,
No, absolutely.
it's like I can probably just tell, just being around the face, like this is something to respect. You do not want to screw with this.
Absolutely, you do get a sense of it, of Fey energy, Fey magic. It definitely has a connection to the Feywild as well.
Great Mound. This one only recently has learned of you and your counterpart. But throughout its travels in life, it has honored the cycle you
Yeah, we
promote.
want Graham. 1 gram.
That is why I was able to reach
One
out
Nick.
and welcome you, as I did. Then I felt this one, and you can sense, even though it's like not got hands or eyes or anything, Philomene and the rest of you get the sense that it is gesturing towards Philomene. Then I felt this one reach out, and it opened up a channel that allowed me to be here.
Glad I could help.
You will help a great deal, child. I do believe that to be true. And you, and again you can sense this time it is addressing Azora. Child of Fae, does your family know where you are?
They do know where I am. I am on a quest by their behest, seeking one who threatens my home.
Just so. There is a threat throughout creation that seems to be imminent, and I would implore each of you, if possible, seek out the protectors, those natural and those godlike of this world. They have long since been lain dormant, silenced by a darkness, a shadow which wreaths everything, and moves now to choke out the last of the light.
This one and its friends will protect the cycle wherever we go. What can be done against this shadow?
Against the shadow, you must show your light. You must stand against it and spread that light and that hope to all that you might. Seek out those who would snuff out life and who would burden the cycle unnecessarily, and see if you cannot convince them to cease.
Well, that is certainly in line with my own hope. I see no reason not to do exactly that.
And you, and now it addresses one who leans. You, I would entrust with a special task, if you would be willing.
It would be a great honor for this one.
Then allow me to grant you a boon, a blessing to carry with you. Should you accomplish your tasks here, you will be asked to spread the word of this lost druid circle who once inhabited these lands. Those who worked for and worshipped and respected the cycle directly. And you should be granted their energies and their capabilities. Out of character, out of character TLDR. Finish this campaign, do so in a satisfactory-ish way, and survive it. And that druid circle that you wrote and all that and came up with
Holy shit, yeah.
will be
The
added
final
to the
rest.
setting. will be added to the setting.
Sick.
Oh, that's dope.
Nice. Oh yeah. World
I'm glad
changing.
I'm writing as much of this down as I can.
World changing. Hell yeah.
Setting changing. That'll be a circle that the setting will then pick up as the belief and the tales of the final rest begin to spread once more.
Oh yeah, not gonna lie, I'm kind of hyped right now.
Well, it's not every day that players have the ability to completely just drastically change the setting of a world.
You say that.
Right?
It's always satisfying to leave your mind.
Yeah, it's every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one will endeavor to keep the balance. Mother Mycelium made this one for the purposes of diplomacy. And all its skills will serve your purpose.
There is another shower of golden spores through the area, and a collection of them, like, kind of will swirl about and suffuse into the air until they're roughly, I'd say, about plum sized, and then they will float towards one who leans.
He sneezes. He sneezes. He's allergic.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? That's you. Ah, they just killed him.
Allergic to his own kind. Oh boy, that's not fun.
Slowly extend a hand towards it.
All right. The plum-sized, glowing collection of spore will float towards your hand, will land in it, and will then absorb into your skin, and you will feel this suffusion throughout you of energy, and you feel like warmth. You feel the care and consideration of the taker of the dead, someone who has such reverence for the fallen, and you feel that deep within you now as this creature gives you just a little sliver, a little blessing from itself of its own energies.
If mushrooms could blush, that
Yeah,
would be what?
You just made out the giant mushroom.
Yeah,
Blushroom.
blushroom.
Why do I suddenly think of Spa's mushroom girl form?
Oh. Oh. I like the grass boy.
All right, and you are granted the blessing of the mound.
Perfect.
Bless this mound.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
good lord. Because, of course, one who leans needed to become more powerful.
Doesn't that just say that we are in way over our head and we're about to get ourselves punched in the face?
Of course not.
That's very worrisome.
Ow. You had to invoke the trope of the room full of ammunition and healing items, didn't you?
Boss Helm.
Save point right before, yeah.
Let's say I am a live streamer. I play my games. I know what this type of trope means.
No, we're good.
Ouch.
No, we're fine. It's just very nice
Oh,
things.
yeah.
Very nice things happen.
You know how my healing's kind of broken? Yeah, well, that's not fixing the issue. I love that. It also makes me think we're gonna need it.
No, it's just nice things.
Yeah,
nice.
so any overhealing you do now will grant temporary HP equal to the amount of overhealing done. If they already have temp HP, then it just doesn't do anything.
Look at Slappy's face.
And yes, that does mean that if someone's at like max HP and you want to just give them temp HP, you just throw a heal of something like give them a good berry, I guess.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Wow, that
Just
could be very
Someone
useful.
plays color in Final Fantasy XIV.
toss him a fucking Goodberry NVD.
This one will cherish your gift.
Jesus fuck. Just a 7 hit point healing
Thank you,
Goodberry.
one who leans.
No problem.
Blessings go to you, to the world of Trelune, to your companions. You will need it.
You don't have to say that.
There is, north of here, a sense I feel. Righteous and radiant energy. There may be a being there who is trapped or otherwise that could use your help.
Zora, it's like just steps forward just a touch. It's like, if I may, Great Mound. You said that we need to go find these Guardians of Light that have been hidden. Would you be able to point us in a direction of where they might be? Just as a way so we can start upon our quest.
North, where I have felt something. The gods here do not make a mistake. They are not all sealed or captured or bound in some way. Some have simply given up. The cloak of shadows upon this whole world brings them no solace. They are blinded and wound up in their own despair. All right, so if you remember, to the north, where the dragons and the zealots were, that was one place I believe you guys were planning to go. That is the place he is indicating at this point. He has detected something.
Yeah, I was figuring that's what he was pointing us towards, but I wasn't sure if that was, there was something else here. Any other hints we can get, so that's why I was asking.
I got a few more for you.
Good.
I'll take them, I got the notes.
Philomene will climb up at that. We are not a full group right now. Could you please tell us how urgent their plight is? Or do we have time to regroup before heading there?
Better.
Our next diplomatic mission is headed that direction, Great Mound.
You do have, as far as time
Oh,
goes,
Jesus.
for you mortals, you do have still some amount of it left. But in the great grand scheme of things, the history and timeline of creation itself, not much remains. But take what time you need.
Excuse me?
Right. So don't rush, but don't dilly dally.
I'm sorry, did this god just
Yeah,
fucking say it's the end of the
Alright.
universe? It's the end of
Furthermore,
time right now? Like, coming up?
I sense something to the southeast. Great swamps. There is a
God damn it.
once great, once revered,
Of course.
lost in the marshes and beneath the waters. Further east of that, in the high peaks, a airborne deity moves about aimlessly, shiftless and hopeless.
We
Far to the northeast, in a frozen, desolate set of mountains, there is one whose own heartbreak has caused them to be frozen as well. And to the far east, In a desert, it feels like. A wanderer searches for solace and finds none.
Mm-hmm.
Grant them succor, and you might have a new ally.
Or
Sucker costs 1,000 MP.
Sorry, just gotta double check this, making sure I've got my notes down so we have this. So we have our righteous energy to the north. We've got southeast in the great swamps, the temple lost in the marshes beneath the water. In the high peaks, an airborne deity moves around aimlessly. In the northeast mountains, one whose heartbreak caused him to be frozen as well. And then finally, in the far east, the desert, a wanderer searches for solace.
Yep.
in the land of tieflings, I will happily off succor.
Okay, sorry, just want to make sure I got everything so we can keep track of where the hell we need to go.
No, absolutely, by all means.
I assume Yozora is very visibly taking notes.
Very much so. Something that's like, oh hey, basically Armageddon's on the way. I know we haven't been told the prophecy, but when a god is telling you you need to do something, you might want to listen.
Yeah, Philomene takes note of that and is very glad for Yozora taking note.
And that's why I'm double checking my notes, because like, okay, Yozora will have them down, but I need to make sure I've got them right.
She's a bit of a branch for Brain Girl.
That's why I'm writing them down.
I'm curious how I'm gonna play this, not knowing this since
Don't worry
I'm
about it.
not there.
You're good? Yeah, exactly. We don't know.
You
Oh,
don't know
shit.
for now, but we'll get you up when you do get here.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We don't know shit about Puck. Don't worry about it. You didn't
So
hear
the
anything.
once we all meet up, it's like we need to hustle and go north ASAP.
Yep.
Once we get there, but yeah.
Not our problem.
Yeah, that's all the questions I had. Thank you for your assistance. We now have a direction to go. We will endeavor to do our best.
Good luck, each of you. I do believe you will need it. And
like this
when
one?
faced with hatred and zealotry, do not succumb to fear.
Ominous words, but we shall endeavor to follow them.
Fuck bigots. It's basically what I got from that.
One who leads. Is there anything else that you would have of us?
This one would only make one request.
Thank you.
Go on.
This one would see the divinities of life and death of this world. This one knows of the Great Glade and would see it have your blessing in those trying times.
It shall have it.
The Great Glade.
My blessing go with you, one who leans.
And Wahid bows his head
Gale?
in respect.
Yozora will do a deep, sweeping bow.
Oh, Chromis. The Great Glade was something else.
And Philomene will grab her holy symbol and just give a quick prayer of gratitude toward the mountain.
Yeah, I'm doing as much as a bow as my body allows.
There is a loud, like kind of groaning, straining sound as the great mound itself seems to bow back to each of you. And then straighten back up. I leave my blessings here in this place, where once those who revered death and protected it held domain, but have long since been silenced by years of darkness and shadow, war and death.
This one will spread your teachings.
So heavy.
You will not be alone, one who leans. There are others. And you are given the mental image of a tiefling with green skin and purple hair, who has a satchel full of mushrooms that she seems to absolutely just worship in some way or another. Like she's picking them up and like cuddling them, and she just loves mushrooms. It seems,
Oh,
and she protects them.
Oh, that's sweet.
tiefling
Everyone loves a
girlfriend?
good mushroom.
Yeah, it was the first, essentially, disciple of the Great Mound. Another player character's Circle of Spores
Oh.
Druid.
Ah, sweet.
Oh, yay. PCs coming together.
PCs unite.
Yeah.
Tiefling fuck buddies for everybody.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I don't like stuff to ask or I'm kind of starstruck.
No, absolutely. By all means, if you think of anything, take a moment. You got some time. No rush.
You're just waiting on us to come back. You got all the time in the world, homie. Well, tonight.
Sorry, I've got myself cracking up at this. My mind is just thinking. My mind went completely lewd on this, so don't mind me.
Oh.
Because the mushroom tips are talking it out.
Yeah. Touch tips.
And I hear Chef in the background.
Like I said, gotta love a good mushroom. Feels good in ya.
Heyo.
I didn't want to break the mood of and the gravity of this, but I just couldn't stop laughing.
You had me at the great straining groan as the mushroom bends.
Exactly. And it was just like, it has me hearing Chef saying,
I love how absolutely scarred this group is.
I chose my words purposely. Karothiak will sketch a deep bow. Great Mound, thank you for your
Its name is a great
blessing,
mound.
your
Come on.
reverence. It is good to see you. And you as well, Karothiak. Formerly of the Empire, you have done a good job of taking care of this land and atoning for all that you have done. Karothiak will just bow again at that. A look on his face of like actual, just complete relief.
Fairly will note that there's a story there.
It's hard to do with my left hand. Fuck. Yeah. It's hard to do. It's pretty heavy. It's good for.
So yeah, any other questions? Is there anything that I might help you with? Anything else that you wish to know?
Izora doesn't have anything. They're currently poring over both their notes and the map, going, okay. Trying to help figure out, like, okay, we have a time limit now. Woo!
Fairly will take a moment and just think. Once these matters have been, once the current dangers have been quelled to a certain extent, will we still be able to speak with you, commune with you? Should the need arise, of course.
As you would any other great deity or god, you may commune with me at your leisure.
Good enough for me.
And after the sheer awe of meeting kind of the one, if not the deity, like responsible for pretty much everything One Who Leans is about. There's the look that just comes back of, wait, I have a job to do. And One Who Leans goes, this one understands. The Empire is a major power in this world.
Good
Will
segue.
this power be opposed to us in our quest?
There is a moment of silence, and then the mound kind of shifts and shakes. Spores fall out, some of which are of a crimson color instead of the gold. Our ability to see far along the weave of life is limited and cloaked within shadow itself ever since we have been released from our capture. But I believe that the empire of this world is not one that will welcome you with open arms, but likely with the point of the spear.
This one understands.
Behind everybody's like, hey, Yozora, just stay. And who's surprised about that?
Not me. We already expected this from the little story lesson.
No, I was totally looking forward to an all expenses paid vacation to the Forbidden City.
Then this one understands its mission and the purpose for which it was sent here.
All my peanut gallery comments are just for you, chat.
As one would call it providence. This one knows it will have to use its skill in diplomacy and negotiation. Not to topple, but to change minds. Not to vanquish, but to encourage cooperation. This one will endeavor to unite and prepare Yome itself to face the darkness as one.
It would seem fate has brought you within its domain at the exact right moment.
Fate does have a funny tendency to do that.
Certainly does. And there's a spray of golden spores as if it were laughing.
Okay.
Much work must be done.
We should probably get started then.
Yes, Yozora.
Starting with strengthening our foothold in this region.
Starting with
We'll
meeting back up with
need-
the others.
Yes,
Playing with a
all of
fucking
that.
nap.
We will need to get ready.
Then please, go in peace, with my blessing, and may death ever be your peaceful companion.
There's another bow from Yozora. Thank you.
Absolutely. You do have a companion with death, don't you?
Bellamy will simply
Death.
bow and say, "May the path lead to happiness, whether in life or in death."
All right. Anybody got anything else?
Just one last thing.
up?
We part ways, Great Mount. This one will mark this occasion with an offering. And I'm going to deposit at the entrance of the kind of cemetery grounds, like around there. I'm gonna deposit the piece of moss from the life tree and let a few spores grow into it, into a patch of mushrooms, and let them glow brightly and mark this sacred place.
All right, roll me a d100.
Hmm.
53.
The magics and the presence of the Great Mound will begin to coalesce and form. And this patch of mushrooms that you plant will slowly begin to grow. And you have now introduced mushroom folk to the world of Yome.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Crap. Hey.
Oh.
Let me go update that on the sheet real quick.
So, did we just introduce an invasive species to this land?
Thinking that too. But also that you just buried your great tree into this great mound.
It was the piece of moss from the tree of life that the dwarves gave me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seeing the gesture by Honuni, Felimy will pluck a few leaves from her own hair and lay them on top of the moss as a protective shield, kind of like in nature, really.
All right.
Unfortunately, the only thing I can really do would be to pull out my flute and play a tune. I don't have anything for that.
Don't have to. Don't have to have something. I played my drum for him. Pa-rum-pum-pum-pum.
That man.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not really a religious person. I don't have any of that type of stuff. Everything I've got is practical. So,
Oh shit.
Make a record of it.
yeah, so I'm just playing a tune on my flute, just politely, not jaunty, but appropriate tune, because I have no idea what the hell I'm describing right now.
Not remarkably like
Make a record of
shade.
it. Hey, who knows who might want to know of their own origin later on.
With a spray of white and gold spores in the area that kind of swirl around and
Spray of
circle
what?
each of you before settling into the ground. The Great Mound grants his blessing to the birth of a new species of mushroom folk from the world of Yome,
Holy shit.
and will slowly retract back into the earth, which will flatten out once more and will reseal up as if nothing had just burst through the ground until there's nothing that remains other than the feel of the energy in the area
This is what happens when you come at a god's feet.
This is a historic day.
It is very
Really
much
is.
not what I expected
What's
when
the
I
date?
started praying, but I will
what
take it.
What are you talking about? I came out here expecting to learn some druid craft, not
Certainly
talk
learned.
to a god. Oh boy.
Look, I commune with gods sometime. I'm not used to them answering personally.
Herothiak. Our task is great, and will not leave us much respite. As caretaker of this place, this one entrusts you with the care of these children.
When they're
Karothiak, who
dead.
has this look of just absolute like awe on their face, will slowly nod. You have my word. I will protect them as if they were my own. No harm shall come to them, save by the forfeit of my own life.
And I bow to him in respect.
And I bow to him too, as though he is now a fellow protector.
Chain bow.
Yeah, he's just bowing to everybody over and over.
I hate to interrupt, but I do believe that we should get back towards the village. We need to meet up with Dove and Wither as soon as we can.
That does seem like a good idea. Things have just gotten a little more urgent now.
You're right.
He will approach one who leans and will take a knee.
The original presentation piece.
To you, I offer a deeper pledge, one that I want you to hold me to and to hold in your heart. I do pledge my service, my life, to both this circle, the mound, and to, and he gestures towards the growing folk, and to these new individuals you have brought to our world. I am your disciple, should you wish one, Master who leans.
Sorry to interrupt, I'll be right back. Somebody else can take notes.
Master who leans. Oh, that doesn't.
You honor this one,
It's not
Karothiak.
an acronym. It's not like an acronym.
It welcomes you to the cycle of the final rest.
Well,
You will
the one who
slowly
leans
stand
final-
back up, and there you go. There's your first final rest druid.
Hell yeah!
well, the one who leans finally asks the disciple to lean on.
Ew.
Well, that's
Ew.
fast. Everything is happening so fast.
Elder Tor is staring at all of you. Just this look on his face of he's never seen anything like this before. He's never seen individuals like you before. You are quite literally changing his world before his eyes. Who are all of you? Truly.
Never seen someone take a level in Druid so fast before.
I know, right?
I do believe we are exactly what we have said. We
We
are
are-
travelers.
We're agents of Providence.
Oh, that's good.
So
We're
you are.
just doing our jobs.
Well then, unless you have more to do here,
We're just doing
I
our
suppose
jobs.
we could head back to town.
This one has much to do here, but it will have to wait. This place is in good hands.
Yes, and I do believe we will need Ohan for the travel ahead if we are to catch up with our companion. I certainly hope she's had a good rest.
Of course, of course. Let's just head back to town then.
And I turn around to say my goodbyes to Karothiak. There is much ahead of us. And this one regrets not having more time for you at this present moment. But it will come back. It has much to teach.
It is a busy time for us, Master. But I believe we shall
Master.
endeavor on and be successful, regardless.
Master? Ants.
Remain in good health, Caruthia.
Master?
This
You as
one
well.
will return.
Houdins?
All of you, be well.
Bow. How do you rotate the thing? Or about to?
While you have your token selected, you could either control or shift, and then your mouse scroll wheel.
Sweet. Okay. And with that, we say our goodbyes and move.
Movement speed?
Yeah, the elders move down the path a little bit, but is waiting for you.
30. He leans, he hobbles quickly.
And
I
then
mean,
Zora's-
yeah, Yozora's probably following.
All right, so let's catch up with Wither and Dove.
So, I'm sorry. Let me get this straight. You tried playing Three Dragons. An honest game of Three Dragons. With mech.
Yes, unfortunately, I did. And yeah, it was definitely not what you. I was not in my right mind, I know.
Oh, certainly not. Oh, my poor, poor kitten. Well, you learned a very expensive but valuable lesson that day. Never take-
Yes.
Oh, shit. Oops.
Yeah,
Never,
and
never take a quick prophet at their word.
hmm Yeah, and it's affected my judgment a little bit since we've been here.
You'll learn, you grow, we all do. But I trust it did tell you an important lesson as well, in addition to keeping closer watch on your coins. That
Yes.
someone like Mech, someone you can't trust as far as you can smell him. When your interests are aligned, they can be quite useful. He will be one of the first people I'm looking to talk to when we return through the portal. I'd like to have him come with us.
And I wasn't lying when I said that he would be great for the coin lords as well.
You did learn, yes. It would seem. And Dove will scratch you behind the ear. See? You're picking up on this quickly.
Wither purrs just slightly enough for Seldove to notice.
Oh, yes. Mm. Now it is. We won't have much time of daylight left, will we? We should probably get a move on if we want to make it
We should.
back
That
before
would
it's
be a great.
deep in the dead of night.
Yeah, especially if we're bringing back some of the diplomats.
Right. Hopefully not all of them. I would certainly see fit to leave some behind. Only take the most capable, or I suppose necessary, ones with us.
For now, yeah, I agree.
If nothing
I'll
else,
let you
we'll
be the
simply...
one to decide that. You seem to be more talented in that. than I am.
Oh, you flatter me. Well, I'll simply feed them the information, and what the delegates wish to do with their decisions, that's on them. I'll simply have my recommendations.
Shall we?
Oh,
would you?
You're rather quick, aren't you? I've seen you take off like a start every now and then. Care to race?
You seem to have long-lasting speed as well.
Uh-huh. I do my best to stay nimble. Shall we race?
That could be very fun.
Hmm.
You know?
All right. Well then, on your marks, go, and we'll stand for just a moment as Wither, and let Wither take off, and then immediately take off after him.
Yep. Yep. And Wither just kind of zips and kind of jumps into the trees a little bit, so he doesn't know where he's at, or
Ah,
makes him look a little harder, if anything.
good. Dove smiles. Oh, I'm so proud. A kitten after my own heart. And Dove doesn't leap into the trees, but essentially, up on one trunk, plants a foot. Up on a neighboring one, just sort of like bridges the gap with a little leap off one, plants a hand on the next trunk, sticks to it, and just runs, just essentially kind of crawl runs, like runs in sort of feral fashion, diagonally up adjacent tree branches, just
Okay.
and follows.
Yeah, I'm back in case.
Okay.
Go back.
Welcome back.
We're just
Look at that.
witnessing some snakes and ladders.
Yeah. Kitty and
Yep.
Kitty and Dove zoom in.
With their zooming, they are quick to make it back to the ruins beyond the door that you first arrived in.
Yeah. Who wins?
As you arrive,
who gets there first?
you notice, first of all,
Oh.
the sound of flies from all the bodies you kind of just left sitting out.
Yeah.
And it seems, as you arrive, there is something already waiting for you.
Upon the arrival and noticing this, just oh, and then see that there's them. Oh, welcome.
I see you all made it fine.
Here, let's do the math real
There you
quick.
are.
Let's do the math real quick on the race.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to do a couple of athletics or acrobatics checks to throw them in there as well, go for
Okay.
it, please.
I mean, we could compare our movements.
Yeah,
I would say
movement and some athletics to see maybe it's a neck and neck.
Maybe. All right, let's see. Because I've got 35 speed of movement. I can bonus action to dash. So I can move 3 times per round. Let's get this acrobatics.
Let's do this an interesting way. Should we do?
Well, that's not
I'll
great.
let you go at advantage for your acrobatics, since you have that advantage.
I mean,
Sounds
yeah, with your spider climb, you'd have a little bit of advantage by all means.
That looks pretty good.
Ah! Oh my
Wow!
god!
We are
Double
going.
20s. I
We are-
love it.
Those ones.
We are zooming.
I would have beaten you
You-
if I hadn't given you that advantage.
Yeah, like that. With Wither taking off to the trees, Dove is watching. Like, oh, he's good. Oh, fantastic! I might have to take this seriously.
Yeah, hell yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, he's so
It is
precious.
absolutely neck and neck. You gave Wither that little bit of head start
And regretted it.
Regretted it maybe for a minute, like, ooh, he's
Oh,
good. Maybe I
shit.
shouldn't have, but yeah, your spider climb, you were quick to catch up. You guys are just, fucking straight up anime ninja jumping from like tree to tree. That that.
Oh, hell yes. Just so when we get there, I'm just. Well, I don't breathe. So, but I'm. No, I act like
Yeah,
it.
you probably feel winded even if you don't breathe.
I'm
Just
just
for
like-
the exertion.
I make a show of it. I'm used to it. Well, I'm impressed. Very nimble moves, kitty.
I try when I want to.
I wonder how else you could use that agility. Wait! Who's that? Oh. Oh, they're here. Well, that's convenient.
No, that works.
Hello. Welcome. Welcome to Yome, everyone.
So you have confirmed we are at where we expected to be?
Well, we have to assume. I have no indication that this is in fact Yome, but where else would it be?
Graham will kind of curl a brow. So you don't have confirmation of where we are?
I'm joking. Here, take a look at this. I unfurl this map, spread it across one of the rocks. We've met with some locals, and gotten the lay of the land as well as the history.
Have you now? And these
Yeah.
locals, are they a friendly lot?
Some. The ones you'll be
Explain.
speaking with, I trust. We did encounter some less than hospitable folks. At least, if we are not inclined to become their property, then they were not very inclined to speak amiably with us. I believe you've smelled them.
Oh,
Yes.
so that was your handiwork.
Oh,
we
yes.
didn't want to just assume, but we did assume.
Oh, well, you know what they say about assuming. It's an educated conjecture based on available context.
Actually, these ones should be well and truly rotted by now.
Do you play?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only been half a day.
Yeah,
But
but I
yeah.
helped out.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So, like, yeah, by a couple days, you'd smell the funk, but already pungent.
Exactly.
Surely, we got that corpse baby, a corpse, the corpse farmer on our side.
Now here's a question: would they smell the burning fires not that far from here?
we did also notice the plumes of smoke. We didn't want to assume again the worst.
Oh, what?
Was that you lots as well?
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, those in the distance? Oh, surely it's a natural phenomenon.
Yeah.
But not only did we find some people that got in our way, we also found some friends. As he turns and gestures towards Aiden.
Yes, good boy.
Oh, good. This world has dragons. That will complicate matters a little.
Oh, is that a problem?
Not in so much. It is something to be dealt with, essentially. There are specific agreements and treaties between the city and dragonkind that would have to be brought up and discussed, of course.
This will certainly become relevant. Dragonkind. All dragonkind? Or just the purest of blooded dragons?
Anytime we find a dragonkind, that must be ascertained. If they hold themselves to the same agreements, if they wish to write their own, or if they wish to have none to do with us. The third is, more often than not, the typical answer, and probably the most problematic, as it does require us navigating around their demands.
Well,
Now I've got a question here I've got something to add this, and I'm gonna let you answer for Aiden on this. Mog. I'm gonna turn towards Aiden and ask him simply, and what do you think on this?
Aiden looks up at you. You get a sense in your mind of not understanding the question, and it just shows an image of Aiden eating one of the bandits that you have fought already.
yum yum yum.
Maybe for another time, I guess.
Well.
Oh well.
Devil will spread his hand across the map to flatten it on this rock. And well, Chairman, up here. Well, we are here, you see. We'll point to the ruins. Right now, this is our entry point into this wonderful, wonderful, fresh new world. This region here, divided by this line here, these are known as the Free Territories.
There you go. You can even do it on the map.
Oh, wonderful. Yay. We are here in these ruins. That appears to be where the, choking plume of smoke originates from. Not that I would know anything about that. We discovered a settlement in this region right here, where I retrieved this map for your convenience. We had some contact with local legislature there, who gave us the rundown. Up here, in this area, you'll be with accelerated priority making contact with, as it turns out, Dragonkin. If you have any input on this circumstance, perhaps you would, Chairman Nova Willow, will be willing to join us on said exposition. You, friend, point to Mech. I have something that might interest you.
Oh, this has got to be good. Lay it on me, then.
Something X for all that time. This lake right here, the locals call it, I believe it is known as Deep Purse Lake.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, it's so cute, isn't it? The faction that surrounds it. You are going to have a field day with the Coin Lords, as they call themselves.
Holy shit! Oh, I gotta tell you, Duff, you've outdone yourself. This is making me the happiest I have been in absolute days. I can't even believe this. Are you serious?
Oh,
They literally
I
call
know.
themselves the Coin Lords, and this is a Deep Purse Lake? Oh, they are gonna just so fucking fall to whatever schemes we got. Oh,
I
this is
can-
gonna be beautiful.
I can see your salivations from here. Yes, I trust you'll be wanting to go there post-haste.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna head there right now. See the rest of you later. I'm gonna go get rich.
I would mind you maybe take an escort. Where's Batcat?
All right.
Where's Good Boy?
Yeah.
You may wish for some accompaniment. The roads can be treacherous. Around the river. In fact, this territory where we stand right now, it is called the Free Territories, but as such it is slightly anarchic. Where there are factions that scratch and claw at the earth for their own slice of paradise. Here, this area, bordering where the Coin Lords are, and the cannibalistic pirates, are the Crimson Lords. Well, the bandits of the Crimson Lord, as he calls himself, taking up his fortress here at the mouth of the river in this extremely geographically advantageous location. That will be something we will have to deal with. One who leans is diligently formulating rather impressive plans, actually, regarding the treatment of this issue. But first steps. I should imagine many of you I had her name, damn it. It does have a name. Cestia? Cestia, yes. I had it, good. Cestia, I should imagine you would be more than happy to make contact with Mr. Tor, the, what would we call him? The mayor, I suppose, of the town where we touched down.
Absolutely, I would love to. I think all of us should. We've been looking around these ruins. We hadn't decided to go after the plumes of smoke yet, just in case you were still busy, of course.
I wouldn't
But it
worry about
seems
that.
as if
I'm sure that will take care of itself.
it does seem as if you've made it past that, which is good. And yes, we would like to treat with this local magistrate of whatever area this is. Get a bit of a more lay of the land for ourselves if we can. Did either of you have any interest in scouting out some other ruins that we spotted just north of here?
Not today, I think.
Yeah, another time should be fine.
The sun
we've got
is...
some other things we need to take care of.
I am quite pleased you did not require us to go back through the portal. That would be a tremendous pain in my ass. But the sun does find itself over the horizon quite quickly. It will be a few hours to get to the village. The sun will undoubtedly be set by then. We'll travel... I trust we'll be traveling slightly into the night, but it's not far.
Very well. I do believe that that is acceptable. Do you have anywhere that we might catch rest then, since we'll be arriving so late?
Well, it wouldn't be for me to offer, but... yes, of course. We are honored guests of this town. I forgot its name.
Also, I believe they have extra space.
Like Bok Toy
available,
or something.
if
I
I'm
don't fucking remember. Mm.
Well, you've outdone yourselves already.
Oh, this is
Vanguard of the
nothing.
expedition, as you were.
This is what happens when you hire the best.
Did the others not make it?
Yes, it was a very tragic loss, and we'll certainly be expecting remuneration for our suffering, our plight, our hardships.
With her jabs Seldov in the ribs.
They're
Now,
fine.
now,
They're
come
fine.
on.
They're at the town.
See. Well then, let us get the carts ready and lead the way. We shall follow.
You had safe journeys, I trust. No
We
difficulty
did
in
not
getting here?
encounter any other difficulties. Once we got the wheels fixed and reinforced, we were able to get through, no problem.
Wonderful. I'm glad to see you all here. I was busy doing the calculations in my mind to pick and choose who among you would be worth bringing. I'm joking. All of you are very important. Hey, Athos. Let's talk.
This will just kind of raise a brow.
Come. And start walking. This way, everyone. But we'll slightly break off of the group and to start, as a little bit of distance has been garnered and the rhythm of conversation has allowed for not all attention to immediately be on Dove at the moment, to pull Athos aside from the gaggle and roll out the map again. This place here, and point to the Forbidden City.
Mhm.
There may be some local history of interest to you and, well, your interests. We should pick each other's brains about some things in regards to this place and what it means. There's a rather dark history surrounding it. I think you may have some forward knowledge of it. At least I suspect. You are very well educated, are you not?
He will just kind of curl an eye ridge at that and give you just the amused look. Indeed I am.
We'll have time, but make sure you pencil me into your schedule.
Also, while Seldov's doing that, I will try and see if I can get Mech's attention for an interesting offer as well. Come here, Mech.
Since you, does it get his attention? I guess.
He'll kind of like give you this dubious look. Hey, kid, what do you want?
Since you're going to be going to see the Coin Lords, I have an interesting thought in mind.
Go on, lay it on me.
He pulls out a couple of his coin. Here's a little start to keep you going. I know you don't need it after a couple nights ago. Says it kind of under his breath.
I really don't, but where you going with this?
How about if you were to use this? I would like to use this as an investment in you, if anything.
I love how fast he got to the coin.
Uh-huh.
How about you? I know you really want to fleece them badly. This might actually help. And I'm going to give him 2 gold pieces.
So,
He's so cute. He's so cute.
you want me to invest this for you?
Yeah. And you can keep half of what you get back, what you get out of it. So
Uh-huh. Kid, you all right?
Dove's perception. He's listening in on this and is like,
call it a little trust.
He will take the 2 gold, pocket it, and just kind of nod. Yeah, you all right? I mean, let's see what I can do. I guess. Just kind of gives Wither this very like careful look.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
What did I say about trust? Chairman,
Yes,
you mentioned ruins to the north.
we did see a large section of ruins up that way. Yes.
Not the source of the smoke, the mysterious phenomenon.
No, those were more to the east. This is more directly north.
Directly north. Ah, very well. Okay. Well then. I'll point to the map and be like, does it correspond? How far, roughly?
And he will just kind of trace out a very small distance.
Okay. We'll make a note of that. We will be heading north. Most likely tomorrow. So, why not? Pit stop? Anything advantageous to us? Perhaps something of religious significance, which will become quite significant in the near future. The locals can tell you much more detail about it, but the Dragonkin to the north, and, in fact, across the island here, some static between them, hence the population on the island, and not on the mainland. But there is, shall we say, a local superstition, faith, to put it kindly, in the portents of dragons. Indeed. Well, I suppose that's hardly unusual for dragonkind. But they refer to something as the dragon mark. And, well, this isn't our only new friend. Our good Yozora has acquired a little pet of his own. We believe this may come very well to our advantage in dealing with the religious, hyper-religious dragonkin. there are some local prophecies that can be processed, I think, in our negotiations. We will have time to unpack this in greater detail as we arrive at the village. I trust this is all walking and talking, like we're on the road and unpacking this, because I'm not trying to waste time on here. While the sun is rapidly setting.
They were getting the caravan ready to move once more, and then as soon as they were able, they were going to start heading out. Yeah,
jamming. So yeah, all the walking and talking is occurring, and yeah, I do not recall exactly the details. We were inundated with local history. Thousands, at least 1,000 years worth. But we are not, I, at least, presume, I infer, we are not the only otherworldly travelers to have arrived on this planet, on this world. And the ones who did before, from across the great sea, they say, the ones who did before were figures of great historical significance. And I cast my eyes to Athos briefly. Influential figures. Figures that still ripple throughout the course of this world's events.
As you were speaking, and you mentioned the dragonkin that are highly religious, possibly zealot-like, Pawnee kind of reacted to that. She seemed to stiffen a little bit, and then looks over at you. Did they mention a name for this group of religious dragonkin?
Probably.
She'll kind of frown, then simply nod, pursing her lips.
I will try to recall.
Was it Cult of the Dragon Kind?
That seems a little on the nose, but perhaps.
She will frown, and both Graham and Zolna will kind of give looks, like the three of them will exchange looks, and Pawnee will simply nod. That is in line with what we have found here. Or at least what I have noticed.
What have you noticed already? How long have you been here? Forgive my rudeness. I did not ask when you arrived if you were waiting long.
We had been here at most an hour, maybe a little longer, but it was long enough for me to take a good look around at the ruins. And I am... kind of pauses for a moment and bows her head in thought. I recognize this stonework, this architecture. I know these ruins.
Well, if it is in fact familiar, then I trust it is as you say.
Pawnee's discoveries do not hold much sense, and the rest of us are finding it hard to believe.
Oh no,
hard to believe as it
Chairman,
is.
please, do not worry your shoulders so already overburdened with authority. Just delegate the responsibilities to your faithful underlings.
Hard to believe, though it is. I know I am not mistaken. The cut of the stone, the etchings in the decorations. This was once the home of the Bronze Legion, one of many, meaning that the city and the Prime Plane have been here before, though this is much older than I might have expected otherwise.
How old would you say these ruins are? If you may determine.
A few thousand. No more than 5, no less than 2, at the very least.
I see. The portal itself. Have you taken a look at that?
I have. It was one of the first things that called me to scrutinize a little bit harder. That was a door constructed by the city, not one by the ancient elves who originally made the ways and created the doors to travel between worlds.
So,
There is something more here than meets the eye, I believe.
I should be very interested in regaling you with what I know of this prophecy. And I'm sure you would be able to pick the brains of local gurus about yet more information. I can only give you what I have learned so far. These ruins...
Make me an insight check.
Ooh. Oops. Pop out. Could be better.
Pani does not do a very good job at hiding it, but at the mention of the prophecy, you see what looks for a moment like actual fear cross over her face.
I wouldn't want to worry you, of course. We can take our time and speak on it when you're more comfortable hearing about such things.
She will simply bow her head. Please, I do believe I need a moment to process all this, and
Take
we
your
will discuss
time.
it later.
Of course, of course. We will all have our hands quite full. The Crimson Lords I mentioned. That's them. That's some of them. The less fortunate of them. We have sent a message already. They are a faction that is quite aggressive, power-hungry. Some of us may have more experience in dealing with those of that like than others. And, actually, take a look towards Zolna. Mayhaps you would have interest in speaking with them when the time comes. As for right now, we consider them a threat. They are likely to mobilize a force against us in the next 10 days, generously. But we will have time. Before that time comes, Meg, you're going to have fun with the Quick Profits, with the Coin Lords, I trust. And we, One Who Leans, myself, Wither, Yozora, and Felamid, we will go north. Ideally, we will have allies at our side that we can deal with them as well as we may. Hopefully, we can appeal to their power-hungry, land-hungry, title-hungry proclivities and bend them to our benefit. Mutual, of course.
As you continue on towards the village, night does eventually fall. Your best guess is it's probably about another 20, 30 minutes before you actually hit the village. You can
Okay.
see some of the light up ahead in the distance that would have been from different fires going or different illumination from inside of different buildings. So you can already see it since, the ground here is pretty flat still. But you're not there yet. However, night does finally come, and as darkness begins to envelop the land, Athos will kind of stir for a moment, look towards the sky, then look towards you, and make me a perception check.
Oh.
Nice.
Yum.
I think he noticed.
Athos will move towards you, kind of pull you aside as you're walking, and in a hushed tone will lean in close. You have felt it, haven't you? And yes, you have in fact felt at least something, whether this is what he's referring to or not. You have felt the unmistakable tugging of a vampiric broodlord who is calling to other vampiric entities or followers of vampiric lords, calling out to them, bringing them to heal, essentially to come serve the local boss, basically.
So I feel this, it disgusts me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel this tugging at my chest, this sinking, this almost nauseating, just some contempt is buried. Masked. Contempt is just, it's beneath my expression. And just, feel something? You too.
Athos will just give you a meaningful look.
You as well. Yes.
Sildov, if you have not yet felt it, then allow me to inform you, out of direct earshot of our companions. And he will again look over and make sure that you have the gift of privacy for the moment, and satisfied, he will lean in, still keeping his voice low.
Do not worry.
There is a vampire.
I'll shush him.
I will
just finger to his lip before he even speaks, before he says those fucking words.
Okay.
I'll just... Yes.
So you have felt it.
Yes.
They are far to the east, wherever they are. But, like a reckless child, they are calling out to the whole. And he just kind of gestures to everything.
It was my first feeling of this since we've arrived here. But he is insistent.
Quite so.
That... hardly subtle.
This is a problem.
There must
that
be
we
a
will
reason.
have to deal with.
We will. We will. You and I are of a mind there. We will have to deal with this.
And he will reach down for your hand and give it a squeeze.
Oh my god. I'm a little stunned at the apparently kind gesture. I blush a little. No. There's still some human in here. There's still some blood pumping. I blush a little. But bury it. The color's in my cheeks, but the expression's a little... It's as buried as the contempt.
Mm-hmm.
Just... squeeze back. I actually smile. I smile an unguarded smile, and let the fang show.
And he will nod, let you go, and kind of open up some space between you. Be safe, Sildov.
I will.
And he'll direct the two of you back towards the rest of the group, and you'll continue on towards the village.
When we came through the gate, I actually will bring this up to them as well, as we continue to walk and as we near closer to the village. Certainly, while it's dark, I am definitely using my superpower of perception to make sure we're not going to be jumped by any wildlife or... I think the Crimsons are licking their wounds at the moment, so I'm not too worried about them. But wildlife for sure. But I will inquire to Cestia specifically. Cestia and Gale, actually. Because from what I understand about Gale, she has done quite a bit of unusual traveling under dire circumstances herself with the fate of her world. When you arrived, going through the portal, did you see anything? How did you feel?
They will both give you looks. Exchange looks themselves, then look back to you. Nothing out of the ordinary. It was as if going through any other door.
No? So this door is in, well, sufficient condition for stable travel?
It does seem so, yes.
That is relieving. We shall not have more complications than necessary, I hope.
Cestia will smile at that and just nod emphatically. Blessings of the light, willing.
We will have our work cut out for us enough as it is, without technical difficulties. We're already counting on the word of the celestial dwarves to help us with some infrastructure. We wouldn't want to overwork them with repairs of vital technology.
Quite agreed.
Speaking of the dwarves, did they have anything for us? I set the Forge Master on a possible task. I'm not sure. He said it would take a little while for it to be done. Did he bring it? Did he send it with you?
They'll shake their heads. No, we have nothing from them. Not yet, at least.
It has only been a day, so it probably will take a little time.
What was I going to say? Fuck. Oh, yes. Chairman, again about those ruins. Amongst our supplies, would you happen to have a spyglass that may be of great use to us as we travel, looking for ruins of importance?
Of course. It is one of the few things we brought with us. We have a couple.
Oh, fantastic. You spared no expense, truly. I will
Council
get
wish
one.
to see this succeed. Yeah, absolutely. If you would like one, you may take one.
Those fuckers are expensive.
Yep.
May
Oh,
I
that's
have
wonderful.
the other?
Thank you.
We do not have many to spare. I do believe the one should be sufficient for the lot of you, I hope.
Oh, man.
Oh, fine. Have your way. Would you have anything else that you could spare for our travels?
Kitty wanted a toy, too.
I'm sure we have plenty. What else did you need?
Maybe some potions, and maybe a little. And he rubs his fingers together. Maybe a little funding as well.
That is not unwise, actually. I know we may be dealing with religious zealots in the near future, while, our small ravenous friend will be handling the deep purse. But a little coin goes a long way in showing good faith, even among the religious.
Bram will just kind of smile at that. Very well. We shall see what we might be able to supply you with. But first, I would meet with this magistrate. Lead the way.
Certainly. Here we have the general store, the forge. Oh, you've got to try the noodles. They are to die for. Oh, the kennel is that way. Sorry, the barn. Kennel, I say, because we have some new pets. You'll meet them shortly, I'm sure.
Wither is fighting every urge to go into that noodle shop right now, but he knows it's closed already.
The local cultures are quite fascinating. You'll be very interested to know in these sort of products they trade here. I've sampled a few already, and I've had better, but still, the price was right.
So you say. I do look forward to learning more about their economics and what we might be able to offer.
Above table, I'm like, oh, you strap on, friend.
Oh, same
Get
here. above
fucking
table
ready.
on that as well.
We've got
I sighed off Mike.
yeah, we've got paperwork for you. Like oh yes.
Yeah, about that. As soon as we returned, I would be with Elder Tor. I would be writing what I sent you earlier. That the first draft of the trade agreement.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
And to Dove will be pointing to yes, Noodle House, and yes, but exactly, you're eager to get down to business. No rest for the wicked. Certainly. Here. Right this way. To the town center. Or town hall. Oh,
This is a
Cestia.
quaint
Oh,
little village.
Badcat. You will be very excited to see this city's guardship. They're dancers. Very beautiful.
Becknet kind of blinks at that and does, in fact, look excited.
I'll be happy to make introductions all around.
Of course, of course.
She's
In
incredibly
time,
skilled.
please.
Yes, I should move my token. Ah, there we go. Miss us. Oh,
Zelda.
owl. You look
Zora
positively
looks up from his
radiant.
notes. Like, oh, you're all here.
There's something about you, owl. You look glowing. Something happened? Did you get laid?
Ah,
In a
good.
manner
You're
of
all here.
Really?
In a manner of speaking,
Well,
this
that was-
one has progeny to take care of.
Well, I was half joking, but oh, goodness, you work fast, don't you?
There is much
Tell
to
me
tell.
more. Okay.
Chairman, Sir Noble Willow.
One who leans, Philomene, Zora, it's good to see you all healthy as well.
There is much to discuss. Let this one introduce you. Elder Tor, this is Graham Noble Willow, the commissioner of our expedition. Sir Noble Willow, this is Elder Tor, the figurehead leader of this settlement.
Graham will stride forward, kind of puffing up a little bit with importance. Ah, of course. And a pleasure to meet you, Elder Tor. Thank you, one who leans.
Hmm.
Will step forward, take a quick bow, offer his hand. I'm Graham Noblewillow of the City Council. We hail from the Prime Plane, the city of Doors. You may not have heard of it before, but I assure you, all that I say is true. We come from a point, the center of existence, and we hope that we might find ourselves fast friends and allies as the coming darkness begins to threaten us all.
Dove will take a look at what one of these has been writing. You are shrewd, aren't you?
Yes, Sir Noble Willow.
Yes,
This one would submit this draft for review. It has come
We
up
got
with a proposal for a trade agreement with neighboring settlements.
A rather generous one, I would reckon.
I'm gonna hand him the parchment.
you will take it in hand and give it a quick look. My, you have been quite enterprising.
It's for the
Give these
boy.
a closer look in a moment.
Mushroom.
First, allow me, Elder Tor, to introduce my companions and the rest of the delegation from the city. We have here Pani Dreamcolor Kole Gavone, a military strategist and expert tactician from the city, who is here to assist with anything and everything to do with military and defense needs.
Oh.
I have, of course,
It's
my
her
friend
who would want to
Zolme
speak
here,
to the
who was
Children.
interested in opening up this world to
Lords.
potential new forms of technology and goods. As well,
Weapons.
I bring Sestia Catalina, a junior member of the Senate, who is here to learn all that she can, I assume and hope. I have also with me Gale of the Storm,
fucking asshole.
who is looking for assistance for individuals from her world who might one day need a new home. In the back, my master of coin and the expert on economic issues, Mech Quick Profit. Next to him, Athos, councilman and emissary from the Plane of Shadow, here to represent interests of the Lord of Shadows and the, I suppose, whatever is the Shadowfell wants. And of course, back there, Captain Batcat, who is in charge of security and making sure that the rest of
I
us
love
stay
him.
safe.
He's
They
such a
are
good
at
boy.
your discretion and at your command, should you need them.
Dove will turn a side eye Graham at downplaying Sestia's importance on this expedition.
As you should.
A full cadre of professionals of the utmost caliber, I assure you, Magistrate.
We have with us as well a assortment of other soldiers, defenders of the like, anyone to assist us with our own personal defense, so that we did not need to rely on these five alone all the time, though they have already proven themselves above and beyond the experts and leaders that we needed. We're ever grateful for them, and I'm glad that they have found you, and you have found them to be both fast friends. That says a lot for us. We also bring with us an assortment of goods and possible samples of the wares that we might be able to offer you and your people from the Prime Plane in the City of Doors and across the rest of creation. For instance, we have with us a small allotment of arcane-infused crystals from the world of Aradesh, where their satellite, Loon, is a host of these types of crystals, where there are many conglomerates and mining groups that, well, bring them up, transfer them to the surface of Aradesh, and then across the rest of creation. But before we get to any of that, I would, unfortunately, request of you perhaps a place that we might catch rest for a moment. It has been a long and arduous journey to get here. We are all exhausted, and it would be nice to sleep under a sky full of stars. At least, metaphorically. I do not hope to sleep outside, but if nothing else can be provided, it will suffice.
Oh, Chairman Noblewillow, what better way to cut your teeth on your first expedition than to sleep under the stars themselves?
He will just kind of give you a patient smile. And a joy to meet all of you as well, Councilman Noblewillow, and the rest of you. Welcome to the village of Bannock 2, and to our world of Yomei. Some of you I recognize, some of you I do not, but all are welcome. I do hope you find this trade agreement to be lucrative and hopeful. It would be nice to have someone to do trade with that isn't also going to come along and rob us blind later.
Mhm.
I can hear in my head Meg at the back going, "No promises."
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He's just back there smirking.
I kind of give him a side eye myself, just looking at him like, yeah.
Yeah.
Just he does. I just don't have words for it. I'm just still a little cross about it. So
As for a place to rest, yes, we do have that. Enough, I believe, room for all of you, though you may be having to bunk up together in a few places. We do have enough bedrolls and blankets, though, for all of you. That much I can assure you. There are, unfortunately, too many empty homes. We have had a bit of a hardship ourselves of late, but look forward to the hope and promise that all of you now bring. And Tor will kind of look around to see if anybody has anything else to add. Then, as it is well past moonrise, I will say we should conclude any business we have for today and continue again on the morrow. It is
Happily.
impolite to go too far into the night on such formal matters.
It has been a long day. We all need to rest our weary bodies, don't we?
It certainly has.
More detailed plans can come to fruition tomorrow, but for now, relax.
Then, please, you will find some room to sleep somewhere south of here, just on the outskirts. There are several homes that are open to you. No one lives in any of them at the moment, but they are yours should you wish them.
Wonderful. One who leans. Do you sleep?
Yes, Zelda. This one does sleep.
I apologize if the question is rude, but it takes all kinds.
There was no intent to offend in your question.
Correct. I wouldn't mind sharing a bunk, a place to crash with you.
This one does sleep, but it does not lie down.
That makes sense.
Rest would be greatly appreciated, as we have much to do tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
But perhaps, Chairman Noblewither, you would have a word with this one before calling it a night.
Much to do tomorrow. Yeah, that's an understatement.
Of course, one who leans, so should be happy to speak with you.
Pani, if you wouldn't mind, I would like to share a word with you as well.
Of course.
Walk with me, please.
She will nod and follow you.
Walk towards the noodle house, which may be closed, but you smell that.
Indeed, I do.
Fabulous.
Heavy of ginger.
Some, yes. Some of the broth was thick of it, but refreshing. This is one of their major goods that they export here. Another one, recently, that has been unwilling, as you may have heard, is people. Here that is not an unusual trade, and that is a trade in which the Crimson Bandits deal predominantly. To not speak further of prophecies and things of heavy, ominous portent, the matters at hand, I think you would likely be, you and Zulna, well, with her expertise in weapons, but you, with your military strategy. I would put my faith in you for advice on how to handle the Crimson Bandits, Lords. It's a Crimson Lord. They follow him with their own zealotry. Their tactics are brazen. They show no fear whatsoever of being challenged. Those corpses that you were so politely introduced to when you arrived, they simply told us, yes, we are taking humans, with no compunction, no shred of deceit, full candor and transparency. Likely they seemed willing to do trade with us, for people. But they have gone unchallenged, and we are the first to do so in a long time. I think your wisdom will go a long way to make sure that this little, lovely little township doesn't meet the flame in the next week.
She'll kind of furrow her brows, cross her arms over her chest as she nods. See, they are slavers, and you have stood up to them. That is good. But they are likely to retaliate, you think?
The local leadership seems to believe that they will take some time to lick their wounds and recover from the audacity that we have shown them. They likely do not seem to know how to adequately respond to the devastation that was wreaked upon one of their settlements, waypoints, storage facilities. You're no fool. You know that it was me, of course. I play, but of course. We devastated one of their storehouses, and they are going to be displeased at this. But if they have not been challenged for a long time, then they may not know how to properly measure their response.
She kind of just nods slowly then. Then I shall endeavor to do all that I can to see that this village is defensible and does not meet the flame.
It's in everyone's best interest, after all. They are slavers. A word that carries a lot of gravity. Here, as well. Magistrate, Mr. Tor, seems to turn up his nose at the very idea of slavery. Yet one of the primary staples of commerce here, time-honored by tradition, is people. It is allowed, it is expected, it is legal, it is encouraged. So make of that what you will. The difference between slavery and legal trade. We will be negotiating it as best we can. Keep it in mind when you consider the tactics of slavers.
She will nod at that. Your point is well taken, and shall be considered. Thank you, Sildov.
Of course. And we will speak of darker things when the time is right. No need to put too much on your plate. But do be sure to put plenty in your bowl tomorrow. He makes a wonderful ramen.
I shall have to try it then. I have not had a good bowl since Top Point Station.
Rival, I would say. A little different. Sweeter.
Sweeter? That does intrigue me.
It is very good. The rice wine is nice as well. Go easy. It's a little bit more important than I expected.
The advice is well taken and well appreciated.
Of course. Rest well. And I will.
You as well.
And I'll wander off into the night.
Graham will look at one and kind of curl a brow. Did you wish to speak now? We can step aside, or we can step outside. It's up to you.
Yes, let's. Elder Tor, is there perhaps somewhere we could discuss things in private?
No, over here.
You could use my study, or one of the other offices, or even the library, should you wish. You'll gesture to the 3 doors.
This would be greatly appreciated. This one thanks you.
Of course.
Chairman, if you will.
Graham will follow you. He will make sure to shut the door behind both of you. How can I help you, one who leans?
This one trusts Seldov has begun explaining to you the political climate of this region we find ourselves in.
Yes, mentioned some of it. Gave us a bit of the low-down, dirty rundown on it. I was hoping to speak with Magistrate Tor some more on it, but it seems they do not want to burn the midnight oil as it is.
A probably wise decision, as rested heads make better decisions.
Fairly ingenious decision, yes.
This one would elaborate a little bit more on its plans for the future.
Oh, and you'll see his brows kind of rise slowly as he looks at you with abject curiosity.
The region is, while strong and resistant to invasion, quite unstable and fractured. This one believes it would be a great benefit to encourage its unification as a starting point. The Dragonborn faction in the north would be susceptible to a religiously inclined approach to our negotiations.
Do you think so?
Yes. This one believes the recent additions to our party, the Dragonkin that you have seen accompanying Wither and Yuzora, might present a significant argument in our favor in attempting to have this rather zealot faction join our cause.
That could work very much in our favor. It's an interesting idea. You say unite this region and get it to, as a single unit, ally themselves with us?
That is right. The various factions present in the region present a lot of varied benefits. The pirates to the south could open trade to the whole of the continent. The Crimson Lords, although aggressive, are strategically located and could present a significant addition to our forces. So would the Zealots, the Dragonborn to the north. And of course, there is no understating the economic benefit of the Corn Lords in the middle of the territories.
He'll kind of rub his chin in thought for a moment before giving you a look. I like where your head is at, one who leans. This is quite well thought out, and I can't help but agree completely. It sounds like at least a workable plan, if one based on fairly limited knowledge.
It does hinge on certain conditions that must be met. The Senate Council must appear strong, but defensive. We cannot be perceived as hostile. The initial conflict we were exposed to can easily be, as the expression says, swept under the rug. As the Crimson Lord's behavior is known far and wide to be of aggressive propensity.
Well, at least I suppose we have that going for us. Have we possibly found anywhere that we might stake a claim and build our own defenses so that we might have a place to call home?
This one believes the establishment of a settlement should be done in the ruins in which we first arrived. Those ruins will provide ample starting material, and securing the area around the portal is capital to the development of our foothold.
He nods emphatically. Of that we have the same mind. In fact, Pawnee and I had discussed it a little bit when we arrived. Building something around there, around our doorway home, does seem prudent. Well done, one who leans.
And to that point, the trade agreement I've worked on is designed to encourage further settlements near our growing borders. And how to put it? It would greatly facilitate staking claim to territory once trade routes are established and defended.
You have been quite enterprising, and this agreement does look fairly good. I would have to, again, give it a closer look, and then the Senate themselves, of course, may want to try and squeeze a little bit more favorable stance out of it. We'll see what they possibly come up with. But this is a grand start. You have done well, one who leans, you and your companions. And you shall have anything you need in order to make the rest of your expedition and your journeys successful here.
There is one more detail.
Yes?
This one and its companions have witnessed a divine message. The Great Mound has appeared to us and warned us of the oncoming darkness.
He will nod slowly at that, though his expression does appear to be very surprised. That is significant, and one that requires, I believe, a bit more consideration. And I will be communicating with home immediately about. You've done well, one who leans. But I do believe that perhaps Magistrate Tor is correct. Maybe it is time that we get some rest and come at this all in the morning, fresh-faced and ready to tackle what may come.
Yes, this one agrees. It has, however, one last request that it must make, considering the circumstances.
Oh? He kind of curls a brow and looks at you.
This one would have a message sent to Trelune, to
I believe
its
that can be
own
arranged.
to its own people, to request for Mother Mycelium to grow teachers, as new life has been breathed into this world. Life of my kind.
And with that, he will give you a very surprised look. You have been busy. It's been barely a day that we've been apart. And already, you're raising children.
As they say, very few plans account for divine intervention.
That much you are 100% correct on. Was there anything else?
That is it.
Then, let us return to our companions and find somewhere to rest for the evening.
Sorry, my celery is crunchy.
Slightly bows and holds the door open for the chairman.
He will make his way out back into the larger chamber, and that is where we'll call it.
Wait, hold on, please. I'm sitting up on the shop, just gargoyled up on the roof with a cigarette.
Okay.
And I can't get that moment out of my head. When he reached out and touched my hand and squeezed it. And I'm running through my head thinking, it was solidarity. That's all. Right? No. Surely not something...
Someone has got the feeling.
Surely it's not something more than that. That would be strictly business. Of course. Would I be... I'm like obsessing over it. Would I be able to sort of make an insight check regarding his intentions when he squeezed my hand?
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Okay. 17.
As you kind of reflect back on the moment and think about it, there wasn't anything in his expression or in his gestures that seemed as if he were overly affectionate, but it was something where it seemed as if he were very protective.
Okay. So I'm just protecting his interests, right? That's it. That's all. Just, we're valuable to the mission. He's just... Nothing more. And I'll just walk perpendicular to the wall. Just walk down to the ground. Doot, 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 doot. And head over to wherever those vacated houses and catch a rest with one who leans.
Yep, absolutely.
Yay.
In fact, we'll move everyone to that next map. Where'd it go? There it is.
Thank you for indulging me. Just the post-credit scene here.
No, absolutely. So this is where we'll pick up next time. In this area, you'll have a few spots to choose from.
Great.
You will also...
I'll say, so next time we hear the prophecy.
Yes. Oh yeah, when we sleep we'll get it. So we'll oh shit, hello. Hello.
Woof.
Hi. Hey, hi. Hi, hello.
There is what appears to be a Kinra that is currently in a kind of large, open, stabled area where you can see Boan just kind of hanging out, having some hay.
Oh, I'm gonna be having some hay. Oh boy. Goodness. I call Graham sleeps in the hay.
So yeah, you will have the stable house, and then you'll have these 3 buildings here that you can split between everybody, as well as, of course, if you really want to, like Philomene, perhaps, if you want to hang out here in the yard with Boan and chill out and sleep there, you absolutely may.
It's a nice
But
night.
We'll figure that all out next time.
I've got
good.
my,
That's nice.
I've got my
Oh,
plan in
shit.
place already. It's not going to be in any of those buildings.
Yeah. Certainly sleep outside. I imagine you would. You love the road from what you've been talking about.
Oh yes.
A lot of shit happened that I did not expect.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, like we were Lolo and I were planning on taking charge of this session, being like, all right, Dragonborn, what's up? But damn. Did not account for the Great Mound. Fuck.
We came in hoping to take charge. We got taken charge of.
Huh.
I was planning on asking
Ah,
Chibi
switch
about
life.
the dragon stuff, and it's like, oh, that got sidelined by a god. I'll have to ask next time.
Good.
I got some stuff
But yeah,
I want to
absolutely.
talk to one who leans
Thank you
about.
very much, all of
That
you,
was a
for,
great,
for
great
playing.
Mm.
I hope you guys had some fun. I had a really good time.
Oh,
But I
that
will
was
see you
a
next
blast.
time.
That was
honestly
lovely.
enjoying the storytelling myself.
Mm.
I'm glad I wasn't part of a lot of it because I probably would have messed it up.
Oh. Oh, it's okay. Good
By all
boy.
means, by all means. No way. You are always a valued and important part of the story.
Of course. And you're
Can't mess
demonstrating.
it up. You just flavor it.
Exactly.
And
You're demonstrating your character quite well in your dealings with Mac. Like he's
Yeah.
like, the fuck is this? 2 gold? I don't get out of bed for.
That was fucking great. Oh man, I
Wipe my
loved
ass
it.
with
That
2
was
gold.
Fantastic.
And yeah, thanks a lot for running Mug and for giving me babies.
Baby!
Yeah.
Papa who leans.
Definitely wasn't expecting that.
I really liked our little race we had.
Yeah.
Slappy.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that was a good time.
Fantastic roll there with the acrobatics.
Double crit.
Yeah, double crits on it. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good
I
for
could
the
have been
advantage.
mean and just went straight up too. I
Right.
kind of granted it to you since you were.
Yeah, I mean, I do have the bonus action dash. I got the spider climb. I got 35 feet of movement. But also hubris of letting you take a head start.
Yep, that and I'm thinking that's probably why I didn't roll at disadvantage. Otherwise, that probably would have
Oh.
been
Oh, goodness.
because
Eating it.
you would have had if we would have been even, it probably would have been you with advantage, me with disadvantage. I would think,
2, 3, 4,
even with my
5,
feline agility.
Word. But it was, yeah, we both crit, and it's like we had that moment of just the Predator movie,
Yeah.
just the handshake that had that. Zelda was behind for a little longer than he expected, but he took that opportunity to observe the haunches of this muscular kitty bounding forward.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I may
Hey,
not be the
hey, kitty, what does
quickest.
reflexes do?
Yeah, it's more the agility than you may have speed, but I've got agility. If anything,
Yeah, I mean, my +5 to acrobatics also kind of suggests.
And yeah, things are
Pretty nimble.
definitely shaping up. This is going to be pretty intense.
I can't wait to see where this goes.
I gotta make another camera. here.
Looking forward to it.
There we go.
I'm gonna go treat with the Dragonborns.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I was aiming to ask Chibi about what the heck was going on with the dragon stuff. It's like, never mind.
Got busy.
That's not being asked right now. I wasn't expecting a freaking god this early to the campaign.
I mean, I didn't expect any of this either. I was just being the bodyguard and just decided to offer a quick prayer in the cemetery like a good paladin.
Right?
Suddenly, oh hey,
That hallowed
I
ground
didn't
melt
expect
upon.
God to answer.
This great Mallow was like, nobody respects the Spanish Inquisition.
Ah, shit.
I got one more thing for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
So that recording you made,
Yeah.
another one of the players put it to some video.
Oh, cool.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
So
lovely.
there, I put the video in chat. Enjoy that. It's really fucking cool.
Nice. Okay. Yay.
I'm looking
Oh.
at it right now.
Creating on a whim. Fabulous.
But yeah,
Mm,
it's
inspiration
real
strike.
fucking cool.
Fabulous. Yes. Oh, we should have taken a look.
But
Hang on,
I'm
meantime,
gonna head out because I need to use the bathroom. So I will talk to you guys later. We'll be
do
back
that.
next week for more. hopefully look forward to it.
I already am.
As am I. I hope
I'll see you
I
guys
hope
later.
work doesn't try.
Yes,
and-
very much. I'm looking forward to the developments that we see
Yes.
shortly, and certainly, folks watching, come back tomorrow for for Storm Riders. Level Hedge might not be happening. We got a few absentees this weekend, but Storm Riders, I hope, will be going down, and there's a lot to go down on. Storm Riders.
Yeah.
Yes. And let's go show some love to Mondo Mole, who's doing Power Watch Simulator. Their whole county is on fire right now. Like, actually, there are wildfires in Alberta. So, shit's rough. But they're playing Power Wash Simulator to try and put it all out, naturally. So go ahead and give some love to Mondo Mole.
Us reality travelers have to stick together, right?
Raid.
Bye, everybody.
Raid.
Bye, Mog.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
I'll get into it. Oh, yes.
Well,
Give them a ride on the meat train. And, yeah, just go. Because the
See you
camera's
all
going to fuck
around.
up again. Oh, they did. I'm still there, though. Okay. Anyway, bye. Mwah. Hey. OBS, come here. I said bye already. Bye. Ugh.